Today we're going to be making some Chile Rellenos. They're going to be stuffed with some chicken in a green mole sauce with some pepper jack cheese. And then we're going to cover them with a little smoky tomato sauce served with a side of rice. It will be a delicious Mexican treat. So let's get to it. What we have here is the chicken. And the first thing we have to do is we have to work on getting our chicken cooked so we can shred it and then put it into the green mole sauce. We first have to season our chicken, and we just have a nice, we washed it, dried it, but now we're going to season it. So once we get our chicken cooking, it's going to take a while for it to cook, but once it's finished cooking, we're going to shred it. So we took our chicken out and we shred it. Just got to get your hands dirty. Put it all apart. So we have here our chicken, and we're going to add this now to our green mole sauce. We have some ingredients here. We have our Anaheim chili we're going to roast. We have some tomatillos that we'll be roasting. We also have some jalapenos we're going to be roasting, and we have some serranos that we're going to be roasting as well. The roasting can be done in your oven. You can put it on a high broil if you have an air fryer that's big enough as well. So either way, I'm going to be using my air fryer, and here's the pan. So we're just going to So just depending on how spicy you want it, you could always add a little bit more jalapeno, a little bit more serrano. The serrano is a little bit spicier. So if you like the kick, I'd go and add a little bit more serranos. If you like a little bit more on the sweet side, add a little bit more tomatillo. But the roasting of this will give it that kind of smokiness to it, as well as bring out some of the sweetness in the tomatillos, and remove some of that acidity. So what we want to do is put a little bit of salt and pepper and oil and put them into our roasting. The next thing we need to do is start working on our green mole. Now, for this, we're going to need to make a little roux. We're going to use some Maseca. We're going to use a little bit of butter. We're going to use a little bit of oil. So, our mole, the green mole, will have as a base, like I say, Maseca, some butter, and some oil. And this is what's going to make it thick and add that corn flavor to it, the toasted corn flavor. And we're going to have about 4 tablespoons. And when you make a roux, you have equal parts flour, equal parts fat, a little bit of butter, and a little bit of avocado oil. And you want to do this over kind of medium heat. So as our roux, getting a little brown and peanut butter color, we're going to be working on the actual ingredients for the mole verde. And so we're going to have some cilantro, we're going to have some Mexican green onions, both the green and the white, and we're going to have Italian zucchini, una calabacita. We're also going to be using some pumpkin seed, some pepitas de calabaza, semillas de calabaza, and we're going to be blending this using the chicken stock from our chicken that we put to cook. So we're ready to blend our tomatillos and our chilies that we roasted. I have about 3 cups here of that chicken stock from our chicken. Just going to pour it into here. It's nice and hot. Now we got to season it up a little bit. Add a little bit of salt and just another little tablespoon of chicken bouillon. This is just gonna again add the flavor and the depth. Ain't no Mexican kitchen that don't have a little bit of more chicken bouillon. So now that our roux that nice peanut butter color, we're going to get a little whisk, and we're going to take our blended sauce and just slowly add it as we whisk. This is going to help it, so you don't have any clumps, so you don't have any little clumps of flour, the maseca. So we have our chicken here, and you sure have to get a little taste test first. Season well. I'll just slowly add this here. And just over slow heat, just going to let the chicken start absorbing some of the green mole sauce. Like I said, we want this kind of nice and thick and rich, and once it's simmered for probably about 15-20 minutes, then we're going to let it cool down a little bit, and we're going to get ready our chile poblanos so we can stuff them. So we have here our poblanos. We need to roast them so we can peel them, and so we're going to just put these directly into our little oven and put it on broil, put it on roast, and once they're roasted, we'll put them in a little plastic bag, and that's going to help steam them, and so we can actually peel them. It's going to make it way easier to peel them. So our chile poblanos are done roasting. They look beautiful, but we're going to put them into you can use just a regular Ziploc or one of your grocery bags. And we're going to put them in there so they can steam up, and by steaming up we're going to be able to peel them, and once we peel them, then we're going to be able to start stuffing them, and we're getting close to the end here when we'll deep fry them, and once we deep fry them, we'll be almost ready to plate. We still have to make our little smoky cumin tomato sauce, and so now we're going to make the tomato cumin sauce. It's going to have a nice smokiness to it, and really if you can make a large quantity of this and actually just smother your chile relleno. It's called an ahogada, but we're just going to make some to just put some on top. It's gonna go really well with everything. So we're gonna have our tomatoes. I cooked them, peeled them. We have a little bit of tomato sauce, and we have some of the chicken stock that we made earlier, and we have a little bit of cumin. We have a little bit of allspice, some salt, and we're gonna thicken it again with a little bit of the maseca, about 2 tablespoons, and with some butter. So we're gonna blend this. We're gonna make our little roux, and then we're gonna put it all together. And once the chile relleno has been fried, we're gonna plate it with some of this on top. Okay, so our poblanos are roasted, and steamed, and this is where you got to be very careful and gentle with them. We want to peel them, but we don't want to tear them. And so we're trying to just remove that skin away as much as we can without tearing the whole chili. So once we've done peeling them, the next step is we want to make a very small incision. Again, trying to be as gentle as possible down the middle, just to open them up. And once we've opened them up, we want to preserve that pouch. So what we're going to do is then just take out the seeds, clean it all out, and you can wash them out and make sure all the seeds, as much as possible, all the veins come out, so you can have a clean chili. So as we're getting ready to stuff our poblano chiles, key ingredient is our cheese. Love cheese, and if you can get a hold of some Oaxaca cheese, it is definitely your best option to stuff these. It is very cheesy, creamy, but I also want to add a little bit of pepper jack, just to continue that little peppery and smoky flavor throughout the whole dish. So we're just going to cut this up. So as we approach to the step on stuffing and getting the chile relleno ready to be fried, a couple steps have to be done. I took some egg yolks and made a little egg wash. I saved the egg whites because we're going to froth those up, whisk them up until we get into a hard peak, and that's going to be the last coating before we put them into the oil to fry. Got a little bit of flour, we got our cheeses, and we got our chicken with green mole, and we're going to be using all this to stuff them. So we've cleaned them nice and clean. Try to take as much seeds, try to make them as good as it can get, and get a little bit of your chile Oaxaca, a little bit of your pepper jack, and a little bit of your mole. Just remember, it's hot, and you want to do this with gentleness, because again, we definitely don't want to tear the chili more than we can, and then we have to. Now, once it's been stuffed, next step is I'm going to pass it through a little bit of egg wash. And kind of a key step is make sure you don't take away the stem. It really helps in the frying process to keep everything together. Then just roll it in some flour. And we're going to set this down right here. And we'll repeat this process with all of them. And once we get them all, we're going to whisk up our egg whites and get them ready to deep fry. So we're getting close here to the end, ready to fry our chile rellenos, but we have to whisk our egg whites. I took some of the egg whites and put them in my mixer, We're just going to froth it up, but if you got plenty, big family, you're making like 10 or a dozen, I recommend you get some just regular egg whites. So you don't have to, actually throw away your egg yolks, because you're going to have to do this in batches. So you probably can, whisk up some egg whites for about 2 or 3, and then they're going to start breaking down again and get watery. And so I suggest you do it in batches. This is really important because we want that nice, frothy, thick egg whites, because it's what's gonna coat the egg when it fries, so none of our mole or cheese spills out. So here we go. We got some nice peaks, so this is all ready to go. And this is kind of time sensitive. Make sure you got your oil already hot, ready to go. And we got to go, because if not, our egg whites are going to start breaking down and getting watery. So we're going to start frying these up. So you take your chili, dip it in that nice egg white, make sure it covers it all. There is nothing. Now this is where you want to use that nice stem and just slowly drop it in. So we're just going to plate here our chile relleno. You can get, again, we made our rice with some of the chicken stock, but you can make your favorite type of rice. Here's our little tomato cumin. We're going to put a little bit on the bottom here, just so we get our, we're going to get our chile relleno, place that on top. And just going to drizzle a little bit more on top. Boom. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Going to clean it up a little bit. Okay. Got a nice, beautiful presentation. Now, I'm not a big cream guy, but I mean, you can garnish it with a little bit of sour cream. That's all up to you. And just my line, simple, nice, and tasty. So, give this a try here. Ton of flavor. Get nice cumin, tomato, but then just the creaminess of the cheese. The mole is right there, man. Just beautiful, balanced flavor all coming together. I'm gonna taste some of my rice with that little sauce. I mean, this is just if you talk about comfort food, Mexican, just you can eat this all day. Hope you enjoy.